You know those scents that you smell and it just like you lose train of your... I can't even speak. It's like hypnotizing. Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So welcome back to part 2 of the best fragrances I discovered in 2023. If you missed part 1 of this video, definitely go ahead and check that out. I will link it up here. Part 1 of this video was my top favorite perfumes that were affordable that I discovered in 2023. All those perfumes were under $40. And in this video, I'm going to shine some light on the top 2023 discoveries that are a little bit more high-end. These are more so just designers and niche perfume discoveries. And by the way, this isn't necessarily all new releases of 2023. They're just new perfumes to me. Some of them are new releases, but a lot of them are just fragrances that I just happened to discover this year. So if you want to see my top 10 favorite discoveries of 2023 in the high-end category, then just keep watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and let's get straight into it. Starting off with the first favorite perfume of the year. This is in no particular order, by the way. One of the best discoveries for me this year was the Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato fragrance. This perfume for me was not one of those perfumes that was a love at first sniff type scent. If you watch my dedicated review to this when I first got my hands on it, you see in that video that I wasn't like completely 100% for it. And that's just because at first this reminded me so much of Britney Spears' Fantasy, and I was just so taken aback, like, why does this smell like Fantasy? It was so weird to me. I still get like maybe a drop of Fantasy, but this is the most addicting scent ever. I don't know how I took a turn with this scent. I guess I just started wearing it more. I think at first I hadn't really worn it too much. I hadn't tested it for a long period of time. So that was just kind of like my initial first impression on this, of just wearing it maybe a couple times. But the more I wore it, the more I fell in love. I think specifically what kind of turned my entire opinion around on this was one night that I wore this. I wore this to bed and I like doused myself in it. I don't know why. I was just really wanted to wear this to bed. And it was the most yummy, delicious scent. After that night, I fell in love with it. Now, that's not to say this is just a bedtime scent. You could wear this literally anywhere. You could wear this on a date night. I find it a pretty versatile scent. It is Yum Pistachio Gelato, but this isn't a total gourmand fragrance. It still maintains this freshness about it that is just so good. I've made a nice little dent in this. I think I'm about right here. It's a really easy fragrance to make a dent in because I have to overspray this a ton every time I wear it. That's the only way that I find that this lasts a really long time. Like if I just do 2 sprays, I find that that wears off. But if you overspray a good amount, you could get the scent to last like 2 days. And that's not the case for every perfume. Some perfumes that are poor performers, you could drown yourself in them and they still won't perform. But it's not the case with this guy. I find this is pretty long lasting if you put an adequate amount. This lists off notes like pistachio gelato, obviously, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. This is a fluffy, warm, pistachio, yummy gourmand with a good level of perfuminess in it. Super feminine, such a beautiful scent. This is never leaving my collection. Next up, this was a huge compliment getter for me this year. I discovered Another 13 by Le Labo. This was a scent I'd heard so much about prior to getting it. Another 13 and Santal 33 are Le Labo's most famous fragrances that they have. Like you hear everybody talking about these two particularly. Mostly Santal 33 is like their top selling scent. Personally, that's not my scent at all. Santal 33 is a little too rough for me. And normally I like masculine leaning rough kind of fragrances, but something in that is a little too much. It gives me a headache. Now, Another 13 is literally your skin but better, and I cannot begin to tell you how many compliments I've gotten on this perfume. This is like my top 5 most complimented perfumes that I've ever worn. It's so weird because it's really soft but also very strong, and I feel like those two are kind of contradicting, but until you actually get this on your skin, then you'll realize what I'm talking about. It's not a loud kind of fragrance, but it's always there. You can constantly smell it the entire day. So it's like a soft, powerful kind of scent. The combo that has gotten me the most compliments with Another 13 is layering it up with Baccarat Rouge. If you don't have Baccarat Rouge, you can layer it up with Cloud, which is like the same scent profile pretty much, and it'll get you kind of the same scent. But I still prefer Baccarat Rouge. And the two of those fragrances have gotten me the most compliments that any other scent has ever gotten me. It's crazy what these two do when they're together. It just creates the most powerful, addicting, your scent but better kind of scent that everyone will notice, and everyone will come up to you and be like, you smell intoxicating. What do you have on? I literally had somebody while I was getting a wax compliment me on this scent. So highly recommend Another 13. This is such an easy to wear everyday signature scent. Scent wise, it's really woody, kind of musky, that sort of ambroxan molecular type of scent. It falls in the same scent profile as like Not a Perfume by Julia Has a Gun and Molecule 01. Those kind of your skin but better kind of scents that just do something different with every skin chemistry. Another major favorite was this Valentino Donna scent. This is just like I don't want to say the original Valentino Donna, because I think Valentino Donna Born in Roma is the original scent, but this one is just the Valentino Donna without the Born in Roma. This was the OG pretty much of all these perfumes that are now extremely popular, but I feel like not many people know about the OG Donna, and I didn't really even know about this. I first learned about this through a Kathleen Lights video where I think she's been talking about this for like a really long time. Specifically, I think she was talking about this in this video where she was saying how she literally got chased down in a hotel by somebody asking what she was wearing. And so that kind of intrigued me. I was like, okay, so it's that strong that somebody literally smelled it from so far and like ran up to her. After looking at the notes, it's addicting. This is a very makeup-y, lipsticky smelling kind of scent, like Lipstick Fever by Juliet Has a Gun. It has this iris note in it. It just gives off makeup, like powdery, sweet makeup, lipsticky. It's so good. This is so sexy. Wear this on a date night, you're gonna get all the compliments. It has also a pretty heavy rose note in it, which gives this a pretty mature feel, but it's not too mature. It's like that perfect, sexy, mature boss woman vibe. I feel like people sleep on the Valentino Donna, or maybe they just don't know about it, but more people need to know about this scent because it's so good. By the way, comment down below of this video if you want to see a perfumes that smell like makeup video. I actually kind of sat down and pulled out a bunch of fragrances that smell like makeup the other day because I thought it'd be a fun idea. So I may even film that video today since I'm filming a lot of content today, but let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. Next up, this is another pretty mature leaning scent. So this is definitely not gonna be your lounging around the house type of scent. Not only is it mature and sexy, but it just has this darkness and definitely a going out vibe. This is Chanel Coco Noir. I never thought I'd get my hands on another Chanel fragrance, much less have it pop up in a favorites video of the entire year, but here we are. This fragrance was one of those that I totally thought I was gonna hate until I went and smelled it, not thinking twice about it. I was at a Sephora, I smelled the tester, went out the store, and I could not stop thinking about this the rest of the day. It stayed on me the rest of the day, and I literally sprayed like one tiny spray on my wrist when I was at the store. So the literal very next day, or maybe like a couple days after that, I went and bought this because it was just too good. So Coco Noir is, I feel like, in my opinion, the more wearable sister, the darker, the sexier, the more, I don't want to say less serious because this is kind of serious, but it's not as serious as Coco Mademoiselle. So in my opinion, this is the better version of Coco Mademoiselle. This is exactly what I wanted out of Coco Mademoiselle. I find that the patchouli in here is just way more toned down and just so much more wearable, whereas the patchouli in Coco Mademoiselle was a little too prominent for my taste. This is very floral, but everything in here is so good. It has a freshness to it, depth, darkness. It's a powerful scent. This is a rich, kind of scent. Let's just leave it at that. It's giving bold red lipstick, all black outfit, that kind of vibe. Very much a femme fatale kind of scent, and another major compliment getter. So don't be sleeping on Coco Noir. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of Chanel fragrances. Love the line of Chanel because it's so classy and beautiful, but I feel like their fragrances are a little too classy, a little too mature, a little too serious for my taste. This is all my opinion, okay? You could love them, that's great for you, but a lot of them don't work for my skin chemistry and my liking. But this one definitely does. Next up, I discovered BDK Pas Ce Soir this year, and it may just be one of the best discoveries of this entire year for me. This is literally like the grown-up version of one of my all-time slash like signature scents, which is Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture. This is literally the big sister, the sexier sister. Viva La Juicy is all grown up now. That is Pas Ce Soir by BDK to me. And I know that they recently came out with a more concentrated version of this, which sounds even better as well. I don't know if I'd necessarily pick that up after having this, because these are expensive, okay? This is a niche fragrance, and I believe it was in the 200 or 300. So I don't think I would get a flanker that has like the similar scent, but it's just a little intensified. Maybe I do that on an affordable fragrance. I don't think I would for a 200 or 300 fragrance, especially if they have the same scent profiles, you know what I mean? But this is all I need, really. Pas Ce Soir, Pas Ce Soir. I'm sorry, I know you're not supposed to say the R, but French is not, I don't speak French. This is like a juicy, vibrant, oh, it smells so good. Wow, that smells so good. You know those scents that you smell and it just like you lose train of your, I can't even speak. It's like hypnotizing. After smelling this, all I want to do is just keep smelling it. This is addicting. This has that same juicy, sweet, fruity kind of quality that Viva La Juicy also is kind of known for. Now, what gives that juicy, sweet scent to this is a very prominent quince note. And it's very much there, and it's so good. This is a little spicy. It has a cashmere note, a woody vibe about it. It has a very, very, very perfect level of patchouli. This is exactly how you do patchouli, because it adds so much to this without taking away from all the other notes, and I'm freaking obsessed. That's all I can say. Point blank period. Every woman needs BDK Pas Ce Soir. Next up, and arguably the most shocking favorite of 2023 for a lot of you that have been following me for a while on here, is Kayali Vanilla 28. So for those of you that are new to my channel, about 2 years ago when I first came across this scent, I literally made a video saying how much I despised this scent. I literally said it smelled like a church, it was too mature, just wasn't it. And then I discovered it this year, or rediscovered it this year, and I absolutely have fallen head over heels in love with this scent, and I cannot put it down. Vanilla 28 is exactly what I want in a sexy vanilla scent. It's got a woody touch to it. The vanilla is aged to perfection. I think this has just had the perfect amount of time to macerate, and now it is the perfect vanilla. I remember the original Vanilla 28, and you couldn't even see it in the OG video that I did where I talked very negatively about this scent. You can see in that video how light the juice was, and now it's almost like a deep, deep burgundy color, and I feel like it's because of that. That is the reason why I love this. Back when I first tried it back then, it smelled too like old school. It had this weird powderiness to it. It smelled literally like a church to me. And now it's like a perfect, sexy, woody vanilla. It's like everything this scent is supposed to be. And now I cannot get enough of it. I wear it so often. I mix it a ton. It's the perfect sweet scent. Every vanilla lover needs Vanilla 28. And I know it took me a while to get here, but I'm here now. And I'm not leaving. And then on a similar vibe to that, I'm gonna kind of talk about these as one, because technically this video was supposed to be a top 10, but it's actually a top 12. Because I have these like additional fragrances. But I have to talk about Black Opium Le Parfum. This actually was a new release of this year, new flanker to the other million flankers of Black Opium. But this was a huge success. This is definitely my favorite of the Black Opium. It trumps even the original Black Opium for me, because this has like 4 different types of vanillas in it. It is so rich. And the reason why I am gonna kind of talk about these two as one in a way is because they remind me so much of each other. They're both these deep, rich, sexy, woody kind of vanillas that have so much depth and like a creaminess. This one's a little bit more creamy than this one, and this one also has a little touch of the OG Black Opium DNA in it, but all those vanillas, oh my god, this is addicting. addicting. I love this. Like date night, going out, nighttime occasion, it is that perfect go-to sexy fragrance. So yeah, I mean, these are different, don't get me wrong. Like you could definitely own both of them without feeling like you own the same scent. It's just they're very similar in scent profiles. If you love deep, woody, sexy vanillas, oh, this is so good. You need Black Opium Le Parfum and Vanilla 28. Next up, I made an entire dedicated perfume review, just basically saying how much I love this scent, that I pretty much discovered my favorite perfume of all time, and that is Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy. This is arguably the best Jo Malone scent that I have ever smelled. And for a Jo Malone scent, I feel like their scents are a little bit more floral and more on the fresher side. I think this is one of their sweetest. It's still not a sickly sweet, super sweet kind of scent, but for Jo Malone, it's sweet. And this is from the Cologne Intense line, and these scents are a little bit more expensive than their usual range that come in the clear bottles. The ones that are like at Cologne Intense in the darker bottles, I think are up to $250, like almost $100 more. Now, the only thing that I don't love about this scent is the longevity. For a fragrance that's priced at the price point that this is at, it is absolutely terrible performance, and I hate that about it because every time I wear it, I have to really overspray, and even then it doesn't perform as good as it should. So that's definitely a letdown. But the scent, if you love the OG Velvet Petals by Victoria's Secret, which I feel like we all grew up loving, I basically discovered the perfume version of Velvet Petals. If you like Velvet Petals, Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy is quite literally the perfume version of Velvet Petals. So when I found this, I was like, that's it, I'm done. Like, I don't need to buy any more perfumes. This is it for me. I still feel that way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna discover more perfumes. And there's tons that I've discovered after this that I really love. But this is definitely one of my favorites. It's the perfect level of freshness, sweetness, floral. It's not too strong, but it's also not like a light scent that just well, I was gonna say that doesn't disappear in 2 seconds, but it kind of does. Honestly, it's not the best performance ever, but if you overspray, you can actually get like a decent wear time out of this. It just sucks that you have to use up so much of the scent considering it is so expensive. So that's the only thing I'm definitely gonna take off points, but scent-wise, unforgettable. Gentle Fluidity by MFK definitely takes a spot in that top 10 because this, much like Vanilla 28 and Black Opium Le Parfum, is that deep, rich, perfectly aged vanilla. It almost has the same color actually as the Kayali Vanilla 28, whereas this like deep purple kind of juice, you can tell that there's vanilla in this, and you can tell that it has macerated and just like aged to that perfect vanilla rich kind of scent. Now this one is like Vanilla 28's richer sister. Like, she is just so rich, she's drowning in money. That is Gentle Fluidity. Oh, by the way, this is the Gentle Fluidity Gold. I know that they have a silver version, but specifically the gold is what I'm talking about here. This smells like $1 million. Now, it was $1 million, granted. It was like $350, but it is an MFK fragrance, so of course it's gonna be up there. But in my opinion, this is worth every single penny that it is. If you're a vanilla lover and you wanna smell rich, bougie, rich, boss babe kind of vibe, you need Gentle Fluidity. It is so good. This is a crazy compliment getter. This is strong. It has amazing projection, amazing longevity. That's another thing I love about MFK. You are paying that high price point, but at least you're getting something out of it. Not like Jo Malone. This one is a 10 out of 10 in all categories: performance, scent, longevity, literally everything. It's just 10 out of 10. So as the title suggests, this is a top 10, and if that was true, this is where this video would end because I just showed you top 10. But I actually have 2 more fragrances. I'm not gonna call these honorable mentions because I feel like that makes it seem like these are just not great to make the cut, and that's not how I feel about these. These are in the same level as all these other fragrances. It's just I wanted this video to sound nice, you know? Like, nobody wants to read top 12. It's not satisfying. You want to read top 10 in the title. So I guess I lied to you. I'm sorry, but there's 2 more fragrances. The second to last one, Burberry Goddess. Talk about a compliment getter. If you saw my husband react to my perfumes, you already know. Burberry Goddess is just that girl. It's a perfect, spicy, rich, another vanilla, but this one's a little bit more of a unique take on all these other vanillas I talked about where they're a little bit more like woody and a little bit deeper. This one has a bit more spice to it and a bit more like floralness, I guess, to it. It's just a very sexy vanilla. Again, much like all these others. I know I overuse the word sexy, I know. But all these perfumes are sexy, so I can't not say sexy because this is sexy. Burberry Goddess is the perfect name because you're gonna smell like a goddess with this scent. And I know this fragrance got some like negative reviews. I don't know why. I still don't understand why, because I feel like this is one of the best scents. If you love Amore Amore by Cacharel, Nina Ricci by Nina Ricci, this has a little bit of the DNA of those kind of scents, like that spice that those scents have mixed with this rich vanilla. It's literally Burberry Goddess. Then the very last scent, another scent that my husband gave a 10 out of 10 to in our video that we did. This is Dolce Gabbana Dolce Violet. I'm a really big fan of this Dolce line by Dolce Gabbana. If you've been following me, you know the original Dolce is one of my all-time favorite perfumes ever, and it's really hard for me to explain this perfume. I don't know how to explain it. This smells a little bit like Dolce, the original one, but it has more depth in it. Definitely has a sweetness. You can definitely smell that violet, and I love violet. It's one of my favorite florals. It smells so feminine, and just a little bit of sweetness in this. It's just what makes this so enjoyable for me. It's soft, but it's feminine. It's beautiful. It is beauty in a fragrance. It's not too strong. It's a pretty soft, more so I would say close to the skin type scent. So if you don't like super projecting kind of fragrances, like a lot of the fragrances that I talked about today, I would say this is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to strength. It's not gonna fill up a room, but it's gonna do what it needs to do. And if you're hugging anybody or anything like that, they're gonna be enamored by your scent. Just a perfect, feminine, everyday, signature worthy kind of fragrance. And it's a very easy layerable kind of fragrance. So stay tuned for a layering video. I'm definitely gonna have to include this because I have a lot of really amazing combos that include this scent, so stay tuned to see what those are. All right, so that is it for this top 10 favorites of 2023 when it comes to the more high-end category. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorites were in all categories, whether it was a cheapie or a more high-end fragrance. Definitely check out part 1 if you missed out on it. Again, I will link it up in the cards, but that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!